The text hit my phone like a punch to the gut. I kissed someone at the party. Just being honest. But what she didn't realize was that her honesty was about to unleash a storm that would obliterate her entire life in less than a day. It was 7:14 a.m. on a Sunday. My girlfriend, Megan, had been at her company's holiday party the night before. I'd stayed home, feeling a bit under the weather, and honestly, her work events were usually soul-crushingly boring. So I woke up to this. Hey babe, need to tell you something. I kissed someone at the party last night. It didn't mean anything, was just drunk and stupid. Just being honest with you because I love you and we promised no secrets. I stare at that screen for a solid minute, my mind reeling. 3 years we've been together, 2 living under the same roof, talks of marriage, kids, the whole 9 yards. My response was simple, almost chillingly calm. I appreciate your honesty. Then I got out of bed and started making coffee. See, here's the thing about Megan. She had a pattern. She'd do something undeniably crappy, then confess immediately, as if that somehow wiped the slate clean. As if honesty was some kind of universal get-out-of-jail-free card. Last year, she crashed my car while texting, then told me right away, expecting me not to be mad. She blew our vacation fund on designer bags. But hey, she was honest about it, right? But this time felt different. This wasn't about money or property. This was about trust. It was about everything. While my coffee brewed, I started making decisions. First, I took a screenshot of her text. Then, I opened my laptop. Email number 1 went to her parents, Harold and Dorothy. Super conservative, religious folks who still thought we were living in sin because we weren't married. The subject line was chillingly simple. Thought you should know. The body read, Harold and Dorothy. Megan wanted me to share that she kissed another man at her company party last night. She felt being honest was important. I agree. Thought you should know what's happening in your daughter's life. Best James. Screenshot attached. Email number 2 went to her boss, Patricia. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. That's too far. But hear me out. Megan was a senior HR manager. 2 months ago, she'd fired a guy for flirting with a coworker at a company event. Flirting. She'd given me this whole sanctimonious speech about maintaining professional standards and setting an example. So my email to Patricia was equally concise. Patricia, I felt you should be aware of an incident at last night's company party. Megan has informed me she engaged in inappropriate physical contact with another attendee. As she often mentions how seriously you take professional conduct, I thought this should be brought to your attention. Regards, James. Screenshot attached. Then, I went on our apartment hunting app and posted our place for rent. Available immediately. Below market rate for quick occupancy. I used the great photos from when we first moved in, back when things were good. I posted it on 3 different sites. By 8:30 a.m., I had 4 responses and was already scheduling viewings for that afternoon. At 9 a.m., Megan texted, Thanks for understanding, babe. Can we talk when I get home? My response, already handled it. Her reply, What do you mean? I didn't respond. By noon, my phone was absolutely blowing up. The first call was from Harold. I let it go to voicemail. His voice boomed. James, what in God's name is this email? Megan is our daughter. You don't air dirty laundry like this. You handle it privately, like adults. Call me back immediately. Next, Dorothy called, also a voicemail. How dare you embarrass our family like this? Whatever happened between you two is your business. You had no right. Then Megan started calling. 12 times in 10 minutes. I turned my phone to silent and started packing her stuff. Just like that, the storm had truly begun. If you're still with me, and I bet you are because this is just getting started, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what comes next. At 1:30 p.m., the first apartment viewing. A nice young couple. They love the place. I told them there was a situation with my ex, and I needed someone in ASAP. They were interested. At 2 p.m., Megan's text grew frantic. James, WTF? Patricia just called me into her office. Why would you do this? My mom is freaking out. Answer your phone. This is insane. It was just a kiss. You're destroying my life over nothing. At 2:30 p.m., the second viewing. A single dad with a teenage daughter. Super friendly. I gave him the honest rundown. Girlfriend cheated. Need her gone ASAP. He nodded, understanding completely. Been there, brother. My ex-wife pulled the same honesty makes it okay crap. Good for you for not taking it. At 3 p.m., Megan's best friend, Nicole, started texting me. James, what's going on? Megan is hysterical. She says you sent emails to her family and work. That's seriously messed up. Me? She kissed someone else. Wanted to be honest. I'm just sharing her honesty with everyone. Nicole, it was just a kiss. She was drunk. You're overreacting. Me, cool. Would you be okay if your husband kissed someone else? Nicole, that's different. Me, how? She didn't respond. At 4 p.m., I got a call from an unknown number. Thinking it might be about the apartment, I answered, Hey man, this is Roger from Megan's office. Look, I think there's been a misunderstanding. My blood ran cold. Roger? The married Roger? The one with 3 kids? Silence on the other end. You kissed her. My voice was flat. It wasn't. Look, we were both drunk, and I hung up. Married Roger. The same Roger she was always texting about work stuff. The same Roger she had to do that urgent project with 2 weekends ago. My stomach churned, but my resolve hardened. By 5:45 p.m., I had selected the tenants. The young couple could move in January 1st. I sent them the lease agreement. At 6 p.m., that's when the banging started. Bang, 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 bang. James, open this door right now. I looked through the peephole. Megan was there, mascara streaked, hair a mess. Nicole was with her, arms crossed, looking absolutely pissed. I opened the door, but kept the chain on. We need to talk, Megan pleaded. We are talking. Let me in. This is my apartment, too. Actually, it's not. My name's on the lease. You're just a month-to-month occupant, I added. And I've given you 30 days notice as of this morning. Her face went white. You can't be serious. I already have new tenants lined up. James, please. It was a mistake. I was drunk. Roger was there. It just happened. Roger, I repeated. Married Roger. She looked down. You talked to him? He called. Trying to do damage control, I guess. How long has this been going on? It hasn't. It was just last night. The urgent project 2 weekends ago. Silence. The Tuesday night team building dinners? More silence. Nicole jumped in. Megan made a mistake, but she told you immediately. She was honest. That has to count for something. You're right, I said. Her honesty counts. That's why I honestly told her parents and her boss about it. That's different. Megan cried. You're trying to ruin my life. No, I'm just sharing your truth. You wanted honesty in our relationship, right? Well, honest relationships don't exist in vacuums. If you're proud enough of your actions to tell me, you should be proud enough for everyone to know. I could lose my job. You fired someone for flirting. You made out with a married subordinate. Yeah, you probably should lose your job. She started sobbing. Where am I supposed to go? Not my problem. Your stuff's in boxes by the door. Take them and leave. Baby, please. I love you. It meant nothing. If it meant nothing, you wouldn't have done it. And if you loved me, you definitely wouldn't have done it. Nicole tried a different approach. James, you're hurt. I get it. But throwing away 3 years over one drunken kiss? That's insane. One kiss. I scoffed. Nicole, she's been having an emotional affair with Roger for months. The kiss is just what she got caught doing. That's not true. Megan protested, tears streaming. I pulled out my phone and showed them my credit card statement. Lunch charges twice a week. Always for 2 people. Always on days Roger's wife was out of town. That breakfast charge from last month, when you said you were at the gym? GPS shows you were at Roger's neighborhood. Megan's face crumbled. You've been tracking me? No. I was reviewing our finances last week to budget for the engagement ring I was planning to buy you. Noticed some patterns. Didn't say anything because I trusted you. Guess that was stupid. That broke her. Full-on ugly crying. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll end it with Roger. I'll quit my job. I'll do whatever you want. What I want, I said, my voice steady, is for you to leave. The next 48 hours were pure insanity. Monday morning, Patricia called. James, this is Patricia Williams from Everstone Solutions. I'm calling regarding your email about Megan. Yes. While I appreciate your concern, this is a company matter. We'll handle it internally. Of course, I replied. I just thought you should have all the information, especially since Roger Morrison is married and reports to Megan. There was a long pause. Roger reports to Megan? For the last 6 months. Yeah, she oversees his department. I see. Thank you for the information. She hung up. Megan was fired by lunch. Her text turned dark fast. I got fired. Are you happy now? This is your fault. I'm going to sue you for defamation. You've ruined everything. Roger's wife left him. A whole family destroyed because you couldn't mind your own business. Then came another call from Harold. James, Megan is staying with us. She's a mess. You've gone too far, son. Harold, my daughter cheated on me with a married man. She chose to do that. It was a moment of weakness. Haven't you ever made a mistake? Sure, but when I make mistakes, I own the consequences. I don't expect everyone to pretend it didn't happen because I was honest about it. You're being vindictive. I'm being practical. She cheated. The relationship is over. I'm moving on. She says you're kicking her out illegally. She's a month-to-month tenant. I gave proper notice. She has until January 1st to get her stuff and leave. That's more generous than required. He sputtered for a bit, then hung up. Tuesday afternoon, my landlord called. James, I just got a weird call from someone named Megan claiming you're illegally subletting. I explained the situation. Oh, she's your ex? The one you added to the lease as an occupant? Yeah, you're good. You have every right to remove her with proper notice. The new tenants you found, they seem solid. Already ran their credit and references. They're perfect. Good. Let me know if she causes any more trouble. That evening, Roger showed up. I was taking out the trash when this nervous-looking guy approached me. James, he began. Roger, I said, my voice ice cold. Bold of you to show up here, man. I need to talk to you. No, you need to leave. You destroyed my life. My wife took the kids. I lost my job. You destroyed your life. I shot back when you decided to make out with your boss at a company party. It wasn't like that, wasn't it? How long have you been screwing Megan? We weren't. It's not. Roger, I cut him off. I have credit card records, location data, and now a confession from Megan. You want to keep lying? He deflated. For months. But it's not what you think. She pursued me. And you what? Tripped and fell into her mouth. She threatened my job. I actually laughed. Really? That's your play? Your boss, who you've been having lunch dates with for 4 months, who you met up with on weekends, forced you. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. You're both selfish people who thought you could have your fun without consequences. Surprise. Actions have consequences. My kids, man. My kids won't even talk to me. Good, I said, not feeling an ounce of pity. Maybe they'll grow up knowing not to be a cheater like their dad. He took a swing at me. Honestly, I was expecting it. I ducked, let him stumble past me, and he fell into the garbage cans with a clatter. You should leave before I call the cops. He scrambled up and left, muttering threats. Wednesday, Megan went nuclear. It started with a Facebook post, a long, dramatic essay about emotional abuse and controlling behavior, how she'd escaped a toxic relationship. No mention of the cheating, of course. Her friends ate it up. My phone started blowing up with messages calling me an abuser, a narcissist, a monster. I posted one response. Interesting how kissing your married coworker becomes escaping abuse when you face consequences. Then, I posted a screenshot of her original text. The tide turned immediately. Half her friends deleted their supportive comments. A few messaged me privately, apologizing. But Megan wasn't done. Thursday morning, I woke up to find my car keyed. Deep scratches all along the driver's side, spelling out asshole. I called the police, filed a report. The apartment building's camera caught her clear as day at 3 a.m. with her keys out. The officer was sympathetic. Breakup, huh? She cheated with a married coworker. Yeah. Yeah. We see this a lot. You want to press charges? Absolutely. Megan was arrested that afternoon at her parents' house. Harold called me, screaming about how I was destroying their family and being cruel to a woman in pain. Harold, she committed vandalism on camera. That's a crime. Drop the charges. No, she made a choice. Choices have consequences. Friday morning, Dorothy showed up at my door. Can we talk? She looked exhausted. I let her in, but recorded the conversation on my phone just in case. James, I know Megan hurt you. What she did was wrong, but this scorched earth approach, it's too much. Dorothy, I didn't do anything but tell the truth and protect myself legally. You got her fired. She got herself fired by making out with a subordinate at a company event. That's textbook sexual harassment. You're ruining her future. She ruined her own future. I'm just not protecting her from consequences anymore. She started crying. She's my baby girl. Your baby girl is 32 years old. She's old enough to know not to cheat. Haven't you ever made a mistake you wish you could take back? Sure, but I've never expected everyone else to pretend it didn't happen. I've never committed crimes because I was upset about facing consequences. The car, that was stupid. I know, but she's not thinking straight. That's not my problem anymore. Dorothy left defeated. It's been a month now since everything went down. Megan took a plea deal for the vandalism, community service, and restitution for the car repairs. She had to pay me $3,200 for the damage. She moved back to her hometown, 3 hours away, living with her parents. Last I heard through mutual friends, she's working retail and in therapy to deal with the trauma. The trauma of facing consequences, I guess. Roger's divorce is apparently brutal. His wife is taking him for everything. Good for her. Patricia, Megan's former boss, even called me last week to thank me. Oddly enough, she said, "We did an investigation after your email. Turns out Megan and Roger weren't the only issue. There was a whole culture problem in that department. We've cleaned house, so thank for the heads up, even if your methods were unconventional." The new tenants moved in on schedule. Nice couple, way quieter than Megan ever was. I found out from Nicole, who still texts occasionally trying to fish for information, that Megan's been telling people I abused her for years, and the cheating was her cry for help. Nobody who actually knows me believes it, but it's her narrative now. The thing is, I don't even hate her. I'm not angry anymore. I just nothing her. She's a consequence-dodging, reality-denying person who thought honesty meant immunity. She played a stupid game and won stupid prizes. My favorite part? Harold sent me a bill from Megan's therapy. An actual invoice for $2,000 for emotional trauma you inflicted on our daughter. I sent back a bill for $14,000. 3 years of half the rent, utilities, and food I'd covered while she was finding herself through her barely employed phase. Haven't heard from them since. People keep asking if I regret going nuclear. If I should have just broken up quietly and moved on. Nah. See, quiet breakups work when both people are adults about it. When someone cheats and then acts like their honesty about it makes them a hero, when they've got a pattern of avoiding consequences, when they escalate to crimes when faced with accountability, that person needs to meet reality. Hard. The apartment feels different now. Cleaner, calmer, like I cut out something infected before it could spread. Started dating someone new last week. Nothing serious yet. I told her this whole story on our second date. Figured she should know what she's potentially getting into. Her response? So, you're saying you don't tolerate cheating and you believe in consequences? That's hot. We'll see where it goes. The lesson? When someone tells you just being honest after doing something awful, they're not being honest. They're trying to control the narrative. They want points for confession without accepting punishment for the crime. Real honesty includes accepting consequences. Anything else is just manipulation. Oh, and Roger's wife? She messaged me on Facebook yesterday. Just 2 words, "Thank you." I didn't respond, but I smiled. Sometimes the trash takes itself out. You just have to be willing to hold the door open and point to the curb. So, tell me what you think in the comments below. Have you ever had to deal with someone who thought honesty was a get-out-of-jail-free card? What would you have done in my place? I really want to know.